Hello, everyone, and welcome to another one of my Ascension messages. My name is Bobbie Richardson, and I will be your guide for today. I actually just got some messages about one of the next steps that's coming up, and I got this a couple of days ago. I was going to hold off with it, but it's in my mind, so I felt to bring it up. There's going to be some massive changes happening. Like if you haven't already seen or felt what's going on, and like I've been saying for a wee while, this is a whole new birth of humanity's civilization moving into a space where we start to take our own sovereign power back, where we know thyself, and we start to trust our inner compass that is guided through our soul's connection to much, much more. And this is going to give us a lot more understanding about the balanced human consciousness rather than the imbalanced human consciousness, which is only really dragging us back through the dredges of fear, the fear game, anger, jealousy, judgment, all of that sort of stuff. Because we were out of balance, that was our reflection. Everything is a mere reflection, remember. So even within humanity's consciousness, as we sort of move up this scale of inviting our own observation into our inner world, we start to feel more, we start to feel our outside world more, and then we with that comes compassion, understanding, unity, love, obviously, and we start to grow from that spark, from our own inner spark, instead of looking for somebody else to dictate and tell us how to live our life. We recognize that there is nobody outside us that knows how we should use this adventure, this body, this experience, other than the connection to our own sovereign soul, understanding of who we are, why we've come here, the energetic link that brings us towards this body, the soul bringing us into creating or growing into this physical form. All of that integration, then we recognize we're not just this physical self. We are energy creating an adventure. We are momentum. We are a very malleable experience. And it is only when we fixate with our logical mind, which has been taught to overshadow everything, that fixation becomes a very fixed, locked reality where humanity is stuck, because they're too scared through the fear of stepping out of the illusion of being stuck. They're scared of what's beyond the physical world, in the sense of, will they be punished because they were punished by an outside fraction already throughout the many years that we have been on this planet, in this reality. And I'm talking life after life after life after life. So to bring it all back into balance, we have to recognize that fear came from us. We allowed somebody's ruling over us. We didn't see in the moments that it started to take place, where the outside world was punishing us, so-called, and telling us, we took on the thoughts and values of ourselves, saying that we were worthy of being punished. We weren't powerful anymore, and the guilt that came with watching our peers being punished when they lowered their vibration and so forth. And so the guilt wraps you into their psyche of fear as well. The only way to have overcome that was to remove yourself from those very out of balanced sectors, and become your own island. And so now that so many of us are awakening to the fact that we don't need somebody outside of us to actually tell us how to live on this planet anymore. We have an inner compass that is directed by love, by adventure, excitement, passions, desires, experiences that we've had beyond this life through our soul's integration, all of that. When that starts to become part of who we are, we become our own island, and we start to shine our light out from the inner core self out. In saying all of that, my team brought me to a visual context of what's happening and what can happen with you in your day-to-day life next, where they were showing me the onion again and the peeling of the layers. And then they were saying, you know, you peel one layer and then there's another layer, and you won't get to the third or fourth layer until you've peeled the first and second layer and that sort of thing. And I'm like, yes, 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 I know this. And then they were like, keep going, keep going. And I'm like, keep going? Okay. Peel another layer, peel another layer, peel another layer. And then they were like, you know, got to a point where my mind's like, well, it's not going to be never, you know, forever. There's going to come a point within this onion that we were imagining together where there was just one core piece, one layer, one thing left. And they said, now instead of, you would never be able to remove it, because if you removed it, the onion doesn't exist anymore. But they said, now that you are vulnerable and you have peeled away all of the layers and you have seen yourself through the true essence of who you are and all of the things that has happened to you without punishment, but with acceptance of the journey that you have been on. When you get to that vulnerable space of just being this core essence of self, now we take the core essence of self and we shift up the environment. So we are going to reinvent our self, and we plant ourselves in a surrounded environment, the right people, the right circumstances, the right location, everything that you are now imagining for yourself as a new self. And then you plant that in that space. Now that is shifting you away from the karmic responsibilities, because you've already peeled away all the layers of the karmic place that you've been born into. You were born into a family for specific purposes, for you to go lose yourself, to go on a journey, whatever it was, to help release all the karmic ties through that family bloodline. And when you release it, it releases within the family bloodline and all of that. But that choice of yours has now come to a point where, because of this huge intersection with love itself, with our souls, with our vulnerability, with us doing this work, we get to a point where we're planting. Now we are choosing from this mature mind, we are choosing what we want in our reality. So it's like you're choosing a whole new experience. You are being born again, so to speak, but from your own inner core out. So now you are just love, and vulnerable as it is, you're going to plant yourself into an environment that might feel a bit different to what it was before. Well, even a lot different to what it was before, surrounded by the imaginings of people that which become your soul tribe, because you could never imagine that sort of interaction and sharing and caring and loving relationships unless you actually had it in a past life. Same goes for the environment. If you can imagine it and you feel passionate about becoming part of that environment, then you become part of it. You plant yourself in it. You have the understanding that core essence of self now has enough protection around it without the layers, because love itself going on a journey and making the choice from love protects it in itself. So then we plant ourselves and we start to grow the story. We start to grow new layers. We start to grow a new story, a whole new reality. And so it's really interesting how they were showing me that this is a time where we can literally, and as I was going to say, let go. My Moldavite just fell to the ground, fell on the table, just kind of slipped out of my hand, which it never does that. So it's like this release of self and everything that we expected our life to be, coming from the point that you were born into the family that you were born into. And you've learned all of that, is coming to a point in your reality where you're now, I'm starting this anew. I'm becoming a new me. I've done enough work. I see me for who I am. I've seen me for my journey that I've gone on. I've embraced the experiences. I don't hate anyone anymore because I can see the reflection of my own lack within the people that I attracted. And now it's time to just take a deep breath, let the shoulders relax, and then imagine or move towards and ask the universe and those that are guiding you, that are coming from love as well for you, to show you or to light up the new experiences that you've already put out to the universe. Like I said in my last channeling, it was about being a baby, saying if you're born into a family, you've already chosen that family. You've already put out to the universe how that mum and dad will look after you and that sort of thing. So now you are doing that from your inner core out, and the maturity level of who you are, knowing what you've known in the past. You don't ignore that. You just, it's more of a, I'm not focusing on it anymore. I understand it's held in my memory bank. We know where we're not going to go. We know where we want to go. And you make a totally different choice based on that. So then that is already set up the boundaries of, if you see something coming towards you and they're not matching your vibe, it will feel really weird and real ugh. And so you will naturally just, thanks, love you, love and light, wish you the best. But you keep moving towards self love, and that will start to gravitate more and more people, more and more experiences of the love that you've held for yourself, because that even though it's vulnerable, it is also well and truly protected by the fact that now the boundaries are already set. You will not resonate anymore with the lower frequencies. You will see through those that are trying to manipulate. And so you will start to move towards and gravitate towards each other that's wanting to create similar soul path, not just a mind path. This is all to do with creating a soul path in balance with the mind path, and having a whole new experience through the fact that you're coming from compassion for all. And that's one of the up levelings that we have coming towards us, or as we're doing this work, it's naturally happening, of us moving into these higher frequencies. That is part of the deal of moving into the higher frequencies. So I wanted to express and share that with you at this moment, while it was still fresh in my mind. I'll see if there's anything else that wants to come through. No, I think that's about it. So love and light to you all until Tuesday when I go live. I will see you then. Bye.